We're going to discuss Cardano today. So pardon my bad hair day. We're going to jump right into it. I have a setup for Cardano that could potentially take us to the $5.36 mark, but possibly extend further than that. And the reason I'm excited about Cardano is that we have a very clean structure, which we're going to dig into pretty soon. Unbeknownst to me before, Cardano is the third largest crypto behind Bitcoin and Ethereum, if you exclude stablecoin. So again, there's a lot going for Cardano. So we're going to jump into our analysis. So we have our daily chart right here. And as I mentioned, we have very clean Fibonacci Elliott Wave structures here, much cleaner than Bitcoin or Ethereum or most of the other cryptos I've analyzed up to this point. If we look back at history, we have that blow off top that again coincides with all of the other cryptos blow off tops from late 2017 into early 2018. And we had a ugly bear market that took us down much lower. But you'll notice, unlike with Bitcoin and Ethereum, or even Litecoin, we had a lower low in March of 2020. So I can confidently call that a wave 2 bottom. And I have it marked out just as such. You have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to finish things off. This is reminiscent of the pattern we are seeing in Ethereum Classic, in which this low here, the A wave back in end of 2018, is actually lower than what we saw in March 2020. That's what you see in a lot of the cryptos, but in Ethereum Classic and in Cardano, we see the lower low happening again in March of 2020. So as for our 5-wave structure, this is a beautiful Elliott Wave Fibonacci pinball sequence we have here. I have this marked out as a wave 1 and a wave 2 here, and we can anchor, excuse me, our Fibonacci pinball extension tool. And it shows that our third wave hit the 1.618 extension almost perfectly. You're going to see that we have some confluences as well from the larger wave 1-2 structure higher up. So we'll look at that in just a second. But zooming up on this structure, again, this is almost textbook. You have a nice 1-2. The 2 is a bit shallower than you'd expect. Typically, you want to see a 38.2% retrace. We didn't quite see that, but almost. We have a third wave here. The third wave has some nice subdivisions as well. It looks like we have a 1, 2, 3 with an extension, and then a small 5th wave. Could be interpreted a number of ways, but this is convincingly an impulse wave. And what we have just completed recently, like with other cryptos, is a 4th wave correction. With the 4th wave correction, we hit a bottom of what, just around $1, and we've been rallying since. Based on our equivalences, our Fibonacci Elliott Wave pinball, Fibonacci pinball sequences, typically you expect your overall rally to hit the 1.764 to 2.0 extension. Because our third wave hit the 1.68 extension, we're expecting this to go to 2.0, the 2.0 extension, which puts us at $5.36. When we look at the other rule we have, 3-4 extension, typically your 5th wave is, it hits the 0.382, 0.5 or 0.618 extension of your overall 3-4. When we look at it from that perspective, we have this Fibonacci tool right here that's showing us targets of, what is that right there? Let me make sure I get this one right. It's right at 6.37, 11.29, or even $20. So again, we don't want to jump too far ahead, but 5th wave extensions are common, and we have a lot of patterns we need to see complete and fill in before we can project that high. But again, I'm going to zoom in just to show this a little bit more closely. We have a target of our 0.382 extension target right at 639, 640, and there's confluence. So I'm targeting somewhere between 535 to 885. Looking at our micro picture, shift over here. If you've been following along, we had our correction presumably end recently. There's a situation here where we have double bottom here. So this might be the bottom back here, or it could be this one. I'm currently counting this as a 1-2 here, as you see right here. So let me zoom up just a bit. So that's a 1-2. The other possibility is that this right here is the 1-2. So this pattern here and down, that's the 1-2. Either way, there's not that much difference. Both of those are showing a third wave, or I'm sorry, they project very similarly. So if we consider this the 1-2, Our third wave should hit somewhere between the 1.382 and the 1.618 targets. We exceeded that slightly. We actually went past the 1764. Normally, that would signal the top of the fifth wave. However, we see a pullback and we see a further extension beyond that. So I'm counting this as the third wave, this as the fourth wave, and that as the fifth wave, which completes our first wave for Cardano. Now, as I just alluded to here, this could be a wave two, and maybe we're on a larger wave three. Right now, I call that a remote possibility. We're going to keep watching. If we continue rallying strongly beyond this, I might consider that. But for now, I'm looking at this as a completed one wave right here. And we should be seeing a pullback that we are already in the middle of right now. It could, typically your standard targets are, again, the 0.382 retrace to the 0.618 retrace. That's what this purple box is. So we should see this get somewhere near 176, 177. Could go as low as 146, 147. That's the ideal wave two retrace. However, sometimes you see a very shallow retrace, 23.6% retrace. That would take us right around probably what, $2 mark, give or take a few pennies there. Sometimes you have a wave two retrace much deeper. That's what this red line is. That's the 76.4% retrace. Once we get past that, that's a warning that we may have a lower low coming, that this might not be an impulse like we thought it was. This actually could be an A, B, C wave. So as long as we stay above this $1.26 mark, we're safe. If we fall below that, watch out below. We might have a lower low coming. And we'll look at the other cryptos as well, because they'll give us some hints as well. But again, we must hold 127 for this pattern to remain in place. As for our targets, if this 1-2 holds and we manage to come back to the 38.2% retrace, which again is at 1.77, our wave three, the larger wave three target, puts us at about $3.67, $3.70 range, something like that. So again, between $3.50 and $3.80, that's about where we look to see our wave three hitting. We would see a fourth wave correction presumably after that, and our fifth wave could extend as high as anywhere from $4 up to $4.50, anything like that. If you recall from the big picture, we have quite a range of targets here. Again, the strongest target right now is about 535 mark overall, but you never know what they could extend higher. So we got a ways to go, but right now, again, short term, we're looking at, again, holding this wave two correction and then having a strong rally into the mid $3 range. So again, between 340, 350, 360, 380, somewhere in that range is what we're expecting. And as of course, as for investing, speculating, whatever you want to call it, I would recommend not making a lump sum just yet. If we get in that purple box and we turn up impulsively, that's a good time to buy if you have a lump sum. Again, don't put everything you got, don't mortgage the house on this. If you're doing dollar cost average, as I've been saying across the crypto complex, keep doing what you're doing. We don't have any signs of bearishness right now. So everything's looking pretty bullish. Thank you for watching, and